interesting one to start with. Someone's asked a very general question about career advice, and I'm happy for people to ask me in more detail if they have specific questions, but I would like to say, for me, in career terms, it's a bit idealistic and romantic of me, but I think if you go for what you're interested in, that's what you'll have the most passion for, and oftentimes that's what people get hired for. If for me as a programmer, when I do code all day, I go home and I write more code and I study up on things, and that's how you get to be really good at this. But I don't really, that's not a burden to me. I think it'd be different if I was doing dentistry, to go home and want to read more about dentistry. That would probably be a bit weird, but I love coding so much that it's something I can do for recreation as well as for work, and that really keeps me going. There's actually two cats, which brother and sister, they look almost identical. You have to really know them to be able to tell the difference. But the one who's been roaming around is Cooper. He's asleep on the perch behind me, and his little sister is Audrey. They are named for characters on Twin Peaks. I'm sorry, there have been so many questions, so if someone's asked a question and I missed it, you're welcome to ask again. Getting back into programming, I've known lots of people who have left due to burnout or whatever. A couple of things to recommend. I'd say go to meetups if you can find them in your area and meet other people. Learn interesting things, go to the talks, hear what people are talking about. That will give you a good clue as to what people are interested in at the moment and things you might want to focus on. And yeah, I would say Python is a good choice. Python is very popular at the moment. The other things to learn at the moment are web development in particular, because there's so much work for it, and there's more and more websites every day. Lots and lots of people are dealing with that. So I would say yes, if you find a language you like, and maybe that language is Python, try and find some meetups, or go to even other languages meetups. They're usually very welcoming, they're usually free, and you can talk to other people, see what they're doing, see who's hiring. Lots of the meetups are desperate to get more programmers, so they will have usually sections for people to say, this is what I'm hiring for at the moment, come see me if you want a job. Even if you're not ready to go for that job yet, just to know the kinds of things that they would like to do. Someone else talking about school teachers using Python in schools. I would like to see more of that. I have friends who are school teachers, and I'm encouraging them down that path. I think the UK government is looking at doing more Python in their schools as well, so they have support for it. It just seems like a very good choice because you don't have to pay for it or anything like that. It's an open language that you can use anywhere. There's a question about 3D image processing in Python. Now, I can say I don't know anything about 3D image processing, and I have no idea if it's being done in Python, but I'd say I would be very surprised if it's not. It's the kind of thing that people usually look at. Things that are popular, Python will usually have some way of doing it. I'm being asked how long it takes to get good at Python. Well, I think it's about hours rather than years, but it depends on how well you spend the hours. If you're looking at maybe 200 hours of solid practice, if you're enjoying it and it's making sense and you're really working on it, you'd be looking at being able to do useful things. To get really good, the more time you can spend on it, the better. But I think it definitely has a less steep learning curve than other languages. And as we've mentioned, there's all these packages you can look into using that will make your journey a little bit easier, and you can often even take credit for work that other people have done. As long as the project is finished, people think you did it. Someone's asking if Python requires an internet connection. No, it does not. In fact, Python has done a pretty good job of providing all their documentation to offline. So if you happen to be commuting or on a desert island or something, if you install Python before you go, you'll have all the documentation to look at and things to play with. The only thing you would be missing is packages. So if you're considering a desert island, make sure you install all the Python packages that other people have used before you go, so you won't have to install them later. Very deep questions I can't possibly answer for you there, but thank you very much for today. You will see messages from Michaela about some feedback you can provide. We will send you some slides to look over later. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for being with us. to take us out, Martha the Vangelis.